The story begins inside a packed high school gym where the final seconds of a basketball game are ticking away. Pellington High is on the verge of losing, and the pressure is suffocating. In the last moment, the ball lands in Mason's hands, their star player. With no time left, he takes the shot and scores, instantly turning defeat into victory. The crowd erupts, his teammates go wild, and the entire gym shakes with excitement. But while everyone celebrates, Mason stands frozen, his face pale with fear. Throughout the game, he wasn't just focused on winning. He kept seeing something horrifying in the crowd. A burned, blackened figure, slowly walking toward him every time he looked. Even as the crowd cheers his name, Mason's eyes remain locked on something no one else can see. As soon as the buzzer sounds, Mason doesn't join the celebration. Instead, he bolts straight toward the locker room, breathing heavily like he's being chased. His hands tremble as he opens his locker and pulls out an old, antique-looking jar. Without hesitation, he smashes it onto the floor using a heavy weight, as if trying to destroy something dangerous inside it. His panic is overwhelming, but the moment his teammates walk in, his fear suddenly fades, almost like whatever was haunting him has disappeared. Trying to act normal, Mason heads into the showers, hoping to calm himself down. But the silence doesn't last. The burned figure appears again, standing right in front of him. Before Mason can react, it grabs him, forcing its burning hand into his mouth. In seconds, his body ignites from within, and his screams echo through the locker room. Hearing the terrifying screams, Mason's teammates rush toward the showers, but they are too late. When they arrive, Mason is already dead. His body is completely destroyed, charred beyond recognition, looking exactly like the figure he had been seeing all along. It's as if he has turned into the very thing that haunted him. The scene is so disturbing that no one can fully process what just happened. The victory they celebrated moments ago now feels meaningless, replaced by pure horror. Whatever Mason saw wasn't in his head, it was real, and it killed him. The mystery of his death lingers, leaving behind fear, confusion, and a question no one can answer. Something unnatural has been set in motion, and this is only the beginning. 6 months later, a new girl named Chris arrives in town, trying to start over after a troubled past. She moves in with her cousin Ree, but it's clear from the beginning that something inside her is broken. She sits by a window, staring down at the ground with an empty expression, as if she's disconnected from everything around her. Ree tries to snap her out of it, pulling her into reality as they head to school together. Chris doesn't say much, but her silence speaks volumes. It's obvious she's carrying something heavy, something she hasn't dealt with yet. This new town is supposed to be a fresh start, but the darkness she feels hasn't gone anywhere. It's followed her here, waiting beneath the surface. At school, Chris is assigned a locker, and by coincidence, it used to belong to Mason. His nickname is still carved into the metal, a reminder of what happened to him. Before she can even settle in, a group of students surrounds her, led by a guy named Dean. He immediately starts mocking her, throwing insults about her past and spreading rumors about her time in rehab. He even crosses a line by blaming her for her father's death. Chris doesn't argue or defend herself. She responds with action, striking Dean and shutting him up instantly. The situation escalates quickly, drawing the attention of a teacher who punishes everyone involved without listening to the truth. Chris, Ree, Dean, Grace, and another girl named Ellie all end up in detention, whether they deserved it or not. During detention, tensions remain high, but something unusual happens. Chris's bag accidentally opens, and a strange whistle falls out. Dean immediately assumes it's something illegal and calls the teacher's attention to it. The teacher examines the object closely and realizes it looks ancient, possibly valuable. The carvings on it appear to be written in an unfamiliar language, and curiosity spreads among the group. When they try to translate the markings, they come up with a chilling meaning, something about summoning the dead. The teacher decides to keep the whistle, claiming it belongs to the school. However, his interest quickly turns into greed when he discovers similar artifacts are worth a fortune online. Without thinking about the consequences, he blows the whistle to test it, unaware that he has just triggered something deadly. The sound that comes from the whistle is unlike anything they've ever heard before. It's not just loud, it's unnatural, like a scream mixed with something ancient and wrong. The noise is so intense that it seems to shake the room itself. At first, it feels like nothing happens, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The moment the sound fades, something invisible begins to move, something tied to fate itself. The teacher, blinded by greed, has no idea that he has just signed his own death sentence. What he thought was a valuable artifact is actually something far more dangerous. It doesn't bring wealth, it brings death, and it has already begun its work. As the story unfolds, the truth behind the whistle slowly comes to light. It doesn't summon random spirits or monsters. Instead, it calls something far more terrifying: your own death. Every person has a fate, a moment when their life will end, whether it's years or decades away. The whistle doesn't change that fate, it simply drags it into the present. When someone hears its sound, the way they were always meant to die appears immediately, taking the form of a ghostly version of themselves. This version reflects exactly how they would have died in the future. It hunts them down relentlessly, and no matter what they do, they cannot escape it. The closer it gets, the more inevitable their death becomes. As more people become connected to the whistle, the danger spreads. Each of them begins to experience terrifying visions of their own deaths, realizing that their time is running out. Fear turns into panic as they try to understand how to survive something that is already destined to happen. Some consider desperate measures, even thinking about passing the curse onto someone else to save themselves. Others refuse, unwilling to sacrifice another life. The group begins to fracture under the pressure as survival instincts clash with morality. Every choice they make feels impossible, and every second brings them closer to their fate. The whistle has turned their lives into a countdown they cannot stop. In the end, the fight is not just against death, but against the idea of fate itself. The characters are forced to confront who they are, what they believe, and how far they are willing to go to stay alive. Some lose themselves to fear, while others find strength they didn't know they had. The line between right and wrong becomes blurred, and survival comes at a cost. Even when it seems like the nightmare might be over, the truth is far more unsettling. The whistle cannot be destroyed, and the curse doesn't simply end, it moves on. Just when everything feels safe again, it finds a new victim, ready to start the cycle all over again. The story closes with a chilling reminder that some things cannot be escaped. The whistle returns, untouched and whole, as if nothing ever happened. A new person discovers it, unaware of the horror it carries. Surrounded by others, they unknowingly repeat the same mistake, bringing the whistle to their lips and blowing into it. The sound spreads, reaching everyone nearby, marking them all at once. In that moment, countless lives become tied to their inevitable deaths. The cycle begins again, stronger than ever, leaving behind one terrifying truth: no matter who you are, you cannot outrun what is already waiting for you.